What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at Inform Pulisic. So obviously he got his Inform this week, and he does have a one to watch card, which has obviously gone up as well, up to an 82 rated left wing. Like most cards, predominantly they stay in the same Inform, or the same position in fact. So like for instance, Griezmann has a centre forward one to watch, but his left wing is a 90 rated left wing card. So obviously his one to watch does stay a 90 rated centre forward. With Pulisic, obviously both of them are an 82 rated. Personally, he's gone up from a 79 rated, so he's had quite a nice upgrade, to be honest. The one to watch is currently sitting at 50k on the Xbox and 36.5k on the PlayStation, which is just insane because the Inform is only going for 15.5k on the Xbox and 13 on the PlayStation. It just shows you how much one to watches do go up when people start to buy them a lot more. When obviously Pulisic scored his hat-trick, the card absolutely rocketed up, and I don't think it's quite came down yet because obviously there's no packs of him, so it's just people who have obviously packed him before, and until we get any SBCs that kind of replenish that market, we're not going to see any more influx of Pulisic's coming onto the market. So every Inform's going to get even less and less, and more than likely the price is going to go up. The only problem with these one to watches is if he goes quiet and literally does nothing for the rest of the month or the rest of the year, he goes down and they forget about him. That's why one to watch investing is always very tricky and very risky. It can pay massively. Like you could have bought Pulisic for 15 to 20k as his one to watch, and you've made 30k overnight. Whereas sometimes, personally, last year I had so many one to watches that just did not even budge one rating throughout the entirety of the year. It's all about depending on their performance, and that is the one to watch kind of risk. Looking at Pulisic in general though, he's gone from a 79 rated card. He's gained 1 pace, 6 shooting, 5 passing, 2 dribbling, 3 defending and 3 physical. So a really nice upgrade, to be honest. Coming from a 79 to an 82, you'd expect a relatively decent upgrade, and personally I think he has had that. Obviously he is a pace merchant. He's standing at 5'10", so not the smallest kind of player. Personally I find that as relatively decent. 4-star, which again is very nice. It's one off the 5-star, which you probably didn't need to be told, but told you anyway. He's got a medium work rate, which is okay. Obviously this Inform card is a left mid. Also moving over to a few of his other stats. 74 shooting, which isn't great whatsoever. 79 attacking positioning, 74 finishing, 83 shot power, no need to mention penalties or long shots, and 76 volleys. So already this card is more pushed out to the wing as an assister rather than a scorer. I think no matter what sort of finisher or anything you put on him, it's still going to be quite a low attacking element to him, really. Obviously he does have the pace. Dribbling wise at 85, 89 agility, 88 balance, 78 reactions, 85 ball control, 87 dribbling and 70 composure. So you can already start to see the trends in this card. Very good at the pace, very good at the dribbling. Passing wise again is very average at 75. Not really anything worth mentioning bar from his 80 short pass, which for a left mid or a left wing is okay. I don't necessarily need a long pass with him, but it's always nice as an assisting player to have that as a kind of element in your bank. If we was looking at chem styles, you've obviously got the sniper, which gets the dribbling and the shooting up. Personally, I think dribbling wise he's pretty sound to start with. I think he would definitely benefit more from a Deadeye. It would make him an 86 rated left wing. Personally, if you go for any other ones, an 86 for obviously getting a sniper as well. Finisher would give him an 83 because realistically he doesn't need that. Hawk, there is no point wasting your money on that because he's already got a lot of pace. Marksman gives you an 85, and then Hunter, which again you don't need. It would give him 98 pace, but personally he's already got enough. I personally would not bother with that. For me, I think Deadeye would definitely be the perfect chem style for him. It gives him that nice passing overall and also gives him that brilliant shooting boost. It'd end up with 84 shooting and 82 passing. I think that really brings it out of him and really shows what this card is actually about. Now, is this card going to change your team? Probably not. I can imagine this card more than likely will be used as a filler card, someone who goes in your club, and if he does go up in price, you sell him. If you put him into an SBC, that is just what his outcome is. I personally don't think this card will fit in many people's teams, if any people's teams. I can only imagine the only reason you probably put Pulisic at this rating in your team would either be for an objective, potentially to link MLS players. Obviously, being American, he can do that. Or probably that you've got someone injured or something like that. I really don't know why. He did score a couple of goals for me, relatively tap-ins, if anything. I don't think there was too much going on with him. Dribbling, like I said, was actually really nice. His agility and balance are relatively up there with the high 80s, so I had no problem with that. Really good at on-the-ball control. Composure, like it says on the card, it isn't fantastic. He's relatively inconsistent with that, and I think that's something that you always take from cards like this, especially being the lower rated card. You're kind of expecting him to not be able to do too much. Like the kind of extent is that sort of goal right there. The sweat goals, the assist goals like that, they're the sort of bangers that he's scoring, really. He's not scoring 30-yard free kicks, 30-yard absolute screaming driven shots or anything audacious like that, but he will do the basics. And I think that really hit homes for a lot of people is if you've not got enough for a massive team, some god team, or even someone like Mane, if you haven't got enough for that, he's a budget left mid. I personally prefer Martial over him. But I mean, if you wanted to add some colour into your team, add some informs, add some special cards, then I'd probably go for him. If you are on a budget, he's probably relatively decent to have. You have got Fraser, who is relatively the same sort of level. I think Pulisic is a little bit better than Fraser, but I don't think it's by much. And for the cost, I think you'd really be asking, look at that. Oh, that's sweaty. That is practically what he does. So we're going to go into the overall. Personally, like I did say, I think he is better than Fraser. Personally, I think Fraser is very, very bang average and even lower than obviously Pulisic. But I do think Martial is that. Well, Martial is that. He's a decent OP 83. That is just what I explained with Martial. He's a fantastic left mid. Really, really good on the ball. He's got the pace. He's got the shot. Obviously, not just being a bias for being a United fan, but he's a very, very nice player. And the cost of him, I think he was about 20k when I bought him last, but he was sitting at 50k at the start of the game. That just shows the level. If you can hear them fireworks, it's going off in the background. It's actually quite a nice review to do this into. Yeah, he was going for quite a lot, just the same as Rashford right at the start of the game. And that normally means that there's a demand. There's a real demand for this player, and the cost doesn't. It just keeps going up, basically. Now, obviously, things are settling. Martial is still a relatively decent price for an 83. To say you can get him in boards, that is always something to consider. Why is he that much? Whereas Pulisic is obviously on the low demand side, but quite high supply as well. So there is things to take from that, but personally, Martial for me is that little bit better. Going for the value for coins. So, value for coins, I'm taking the 15k because obviously being on the Xbox and thinking, how much use can this guy give in your team? Personally, I think 15k is an absolute cheapskate for it. A BPL left mid in Chelsea for 15k is an absolute bargain. But I'm mainly talking alongside the SBC route. More than likely, we're going to need informs. We'll more than likely need Prem informs. If you want to pick a few up and wait until an SBC, Player of the Month, informs or a special card from the BPL, they're going to need informs and they're going to be the ones to look at. And you can take a 15k player and turn them into 20, 25k just off the bat of having him in your club. So for me, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10, but mainly on the fact that the value for coins is mainly because the value for coins for an SBC, not for actually playing. Then for Foot Champs, personally, I'm giving him a 3 out of 10. I would never put him in my team at the minute. Obviously, I have spent money on the game, so don't shoot me for that. But if I was on a road to glory, I still think I'd probably find someone different. Even Vinicius Jr. was a class act in Foot Champs for me. I just don't think Pulisic has what it needs to be a Foot Champs player for me, personally. And overall, I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. I think he's an okay player. I think if he does manage to get a few informs and maybe gets himself up to an 85, 86, I think we're in business. I think we could really talk. With that pace already, if he can get his shooting, passing and dribbling up a little bit more, then I think we've got a really good player on the hands. So I'll be keeping my eye out on him. If he does go up anymore, we'll probably pick his one to watch up and do a review on that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. We're nearly at that 4K. I am so close. I can absolutely taste it. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully your foot champs was the same. And I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.